What is up, everybody? Welcome to another episode of Walrus's TCG Dailies. I'm your host, Master Walrus9, and here's my TCG Dailies. I'm going to be playing a little bit of Pokemon TCG Live for you. I hope you enjoy. First off, we're going to do a quick check. They want us to play an item, put 4 Pokemon EX in play. I think those are both very reasonable actions to do. Prior, I want to do a slight adjustment. In the last episode, I made a deck based off of Revaroom and stacking items. I thought the deck has potential, but there's a lot that is kind of just not right, I guess is the way to put it. So what I want to do is I want to take a quick look at the deck, make some slight adjustments, and overall just figure out what I want to change. First off, though, I've been doing my adjustments, edits, deck creation at the beginning of the video. If that is something that you guys like, let me know in the comments. If it is something that you don't like, then let me know. My goal is to create entertaining content, and if watching me deck build is not entertaining, then let me know, and I will remove it from the beginning and just get straight into the action. Woo! Okay, so first off, I don't think Roseanne's backup is fairly necessary. We're just gonna cut it. Let's take a look at the tools we have. We have a Defiance Band, Spirit Mask, Rigid Band, and the TM Turbo Energize. Now, I think Turbo Energize is definitely something I want to keep. I want to drop a Defiance Band and pick up another Spirit Mask. And ultimately, my plan is to have 2 Revaroom EX up at a time, which means I need a minimum of 8 items. Having the Tool Jammer is alright, I'll take that. And the Spirit Mask at 3 will pump that to 4, and the Rigid Band pumps that to 8. So I think this is a solid combination. The Earthen Vessel works well. The supporters are alright. I think Pokegear 3.0 is good enough being at 3. I don't know if I want to trash PAL pads just yet. If I need to switch them out for a different item, I'm thinking I'm going to go with that. But ultimately, they're alright. Nest Ball at 2 is a little low for what I want. Still thinking I can make it work. Overall, I think the deck is at right levels. There's nothing that I'm crazy or dissuaded about. The big thing I have a problem with is energy, because I keep losing out energy. What I think I'm going to do is I'm going to PAL pad out 1, and we're going to run some sort of rod, like a super rod. We'll run 2 copies of Super Rod. This will allow me to recycle my energy a bit more. I only have 8 energy in the deck. The Revaroom attack takes 3 of it. So, if I wanted to use the second Revaroom, not the EX variation's move or ability to draw up to 6, I am discarding a lot of my energy potential. So I do need to have some energy recycling in the deck. Initially, I was just running Clara, but now Super Rod I think is the way to go, because it'll help me to recycle my Pokemon as well, to just make it a slightly bit more consistent. I am going to pull Ultra Ball down to 3 just to increase Nest Ball to 3. With the addition of the Oricorio, I just wanted a bit more, it's simply enough. And so, the Ultra Ball is fine. Overall, I think the deck's alright. We're going to try it another round. Play, adjust. Now, I saw a Mewcoin, a Togepi deck box. Okay, it was a Mewtwo. So, I'm uncertain of what we're going to see. Being Steel type, we're weak against Ice. No, we're strong against Ice. We're weak against Fire. And we have a good matchup against Grass. Sucks that Steel resists Grass, and it's like one of the very few Pokemon that actually have a resistance Like, if there was more resistances in the game, yeah, it'd be whatever. You know, it's like, okay, it's the checks and balances. But it's hard to think of resistances that appear too often. One of the excellent uses of a resistance is flying type Pokemon. They're thrown under the normal category, but they're weak to electric and resistant to fighting. That's how they separate normal type Pokemon and flying type Pokemon, which is great. And I think the resistances should be an aspect of what type they are, grouping them together, but give them resistances against certain matchups. For example, I think dark types resist psychic types already. But maybe if you're running a poison type that's thrown into the dark category, make it weak to psychic. Interesting matchup. So, Wooloo Sleeves, love it. Wooloo's a great Pokemon. Super much a fan. Squawkabilly EX and the Battle VIP Pass, Ultra Ball, they really can just trash whatever because they're going to Squawkabilly EX. They look to be playing a variation on Roaring Moon EX. This is going to be tough because he can instant kill us and it's not looking to be a good game. So he trashed out a lot of good cards in his opening hand, 2 Boss's Orders. But the problem is he now has his full bench. So we're in a little bit of a pickle. Looking at my opening hand, I really don't have much that's great if I'm being honest. I will see what the Pokegear 3.0 can pull. And before that, we're going to pick up a Pokeball with Ultra Ball. We don't really need Tool Jammer. This is not a deck that uses tools as a major monopoly. I mean, it would be nice in the late game when we're trying to get up damage. But ultimately, it's you know. Pokegear, we can pull up Iniono. He only needs 1 to retreat. We're kind of in a rough state right now. We're just going to try out, see what we can do. I mean, I'm not one who's opposed to leaving if it's an unwinnable board state. See, yeah, I'm not crazy on any of these setups at the moment. TM's nice. Ultimately, it's not great, if I'm being honest. What's looking to happen next turn is we're going to put Oricorio up front, Clara, get the Vevaroom, get the Metal Energy, stack it onto the bench. We'll be able to Revaroom EX next turn. We could set up the Rigid Band. We don't need to Turbo Energize. Well, we should Turbo Energize, and I might put the Metal Energy on Oricorio to Turbo Energize with it. And set up Rigid Band on the Vevaroom. And we could Earthen Vessel the shopping center if need be. I'm not opposed to that if I'm in need of energy, but I'm going to save it to the next turn because I might not even need to do that. So the Roaring Moon EX is set up, which is unfortunate. Dark has been eating really good after a ramp, and I want to check out Grass to see what the counters possible are. But with the new Obsidian Flame, I was not feeling anything crazy in terms of Grass. So he picks up 2 items from his trash using the V-Star ability of Darkrai EX. Earthen Vessel's going to allow him to grab some more energy. He trashes an Earthen Vessel, so that's interesting. Now, I'm not sure on how much energy he's running. If I was to make an estimate, I would say maybe 11. 12 might be the sweet spot. We know he's got 1 in hand minimum. Oh, shoot. He's doing really good plays. He's too fast for us. Honestly, the game's over. I just want to play to see what I can do. Because, I think trying your best is the way you have to work out these kinds of things. Path to the Peak, super unfortunate. Now, we did manage to tank the hit. Or not tank the hit, but survive the situation. Which is what I was not anticipating. But ultimately, the Roaring Moon EX makes it redundant. What we're going to do is we're going to evolve to Revaroom EX. We're going to retreat into Oricorio. We're going to Rigid Band on Revaroom. Energy Vessel, the Clara. I'd rather have 2 in hand. We're going to put it on the Oricorio. TM. I'd love to Ultra Ball, but I can't really afford that at the moment. That's got no retreat. That's a retreat of 1. That's a retreat of 2, but it's very high powered at this moment. We're going to move up this one to remove bench plays. We don't need a shopping center at this moment. So we're just going to hit with the Turbo Energize. And see, the problem with this deck is it's not consistent because there's no real engine to help support it. Now, if you're unfamiliar with the terminology, an engine is essentially the core portion of your deck, which allows it to run and stay consistent. For example, this is running the Ancient engine as its primary, using aspects such as Earthen Vessel, Professor Sada's Vitality to ramp out energy. And it pairs up... Oh, shoot, that's unfortunate on my end. But it pairs up well with the Dark Energy, or the Dark Engine, to Dark Patch and get more consistent plays out. Okay, he runs the Switch Cart. Switch Cart's a bit unfortunate because of all the EX that goes around being basic. Well, not EX. EX aren't always basic, but there's been a lot of basic EX. So, looking at what we got... We're going to trash the Revaroom. Not the EX. For Earthen Vessel to pick up some more energy. We're going to Town Store. But ultimately, we're not going to be able to take out the Roaring Moon. What we want to do is we're going to set up another Vevaroom on the bench. Pop the Town Store. Rigid Band. Oricorio, Earthen Vessel, take out this Revaroom, pick up 2 into hand. And now the problems were a bit low on energy. I do want to take the Spirit Mask, even if it goes down. Well, threading a card out of hand, it's something. Now, he's taken a decent chunk of damage. The question is, does he go for the insta-kill? He gets to do 220? Yeah. See, that's the problem playing against decks like these. It's done. It's, as they refer to, Jover. We can't handle the consistency of that engine. What you need to do to counter it is to play another engine that's consistent as well, or something that has advantage. So overall, I think Revaroom EX, there might be something I'm missing, but ultimately it's a gag deck, a stupid gimmick, as I like to call it. It has a lot of fun mechanics in it with the stacking of items, but it's fairly easily counterable and it's kind of slow. Speaking of stupid gimmicks, I'm going to take a look at some stupid gimmicks I have built previously. Now, I have a good amount of stupid gimmick decks I've made in the past. I want to say almost around 20. And what I want to do is try one out. We're gonna play stupid gimmick number 3. Stupid gimmick number 3 is a stupid gimmick, but it's a fun stupid gimmick, and it actually does work a little bit. And considering the type matchups that we're going into, there's some potential. This deck focuses on Glimmora EX in order to shut down your opponent's bench distribution. If it's in the active slot, it essentially is a consistent Avery. Opponent will only have 3 Pokemon on the bench. If it gets moved out, well, they can put more onto the bench, but if it moves in, they have to discard. So, it works well enough. I'm comboing with Grass as the primary damage provider in Superior EX due to Starwinder. Yeah. It does 60 for each energy attached to this Pokemon, which is a decent hit. Against Dark-type decks, it will do a good amount of damage. But then you can attack and switch into Glimmora EX. Since I'm running that, I decided to also throw in a Toedscruel EX to prevent effect damage from occurring. And with the Manaphy, we're going to prevent ping damage to the bench. So ultimately, what should happen is that the only Pokemon that can get damaged is Glimmora EX. I pair with some aspects such as Avery for that consistent deck destruction or field destruction, some emergency jelly for heals, switch to get the easy switch, Artizone to set up faster, Battle VIP Pass, Ultra Ball. The deck has not been modified since I last used it, which was previous to Paradox Rift. Ultimately, it's an alright deck in my perspective. I don't think you're going to win any tournaments with this, but you can have some fun with it. We're going to go play I want to play a match with this stupid gimmick number 3. Just to give it a try. See how well it does in the new TCG Live meta. TCG Live meta definitely is different from actual TCG in-person meta, due to, just how consistent you see decks played, and where you're given a ton of free decks to play against, where they're good. You're going to see those decks played more consistently within those respective seasons. For example, this season, you're going to see a lot of Roaring Moon EX. And you're going to see a good amount of Goldingo EX. And so if you run a deck that's able to manage both of those, while being alright in its own self, then you have a good thing going on. We got a decent chunk of basic Pokemon, so this is kind of weird. Ultimately, I want to say we have 2 Bidoof. We got the Superior Vs at 2. We got like 3 Glimmora. So, I mean, Freak Mulligan, it happens. It does happen. We are going first. We have the Superior V. What I want to do is, I want to put the Superior V up front, and the Glimmet on bench. Okay, so we're playing against Lost Box. This deck sucks to play against, but if I'm being honest, we can manage it. We're going to play Bidoof on a bench. And we don't need an Ultra Ball at this moment. We're just going to end turn. Now, depending on how fast they can ramp it out, they could get the Sableye off sooner than later. Maybe their turn 2. And the Sableye is going to be a pain, so we're going to need to set up the effect damage prevention. Now, one thing I've noticed about decks that are popular is that they like to turbo hard. And so I'm curious if there's any kind of mill aspect I could look at. Jet Energy's been a pain to play against because of the constant switching it can provide. Because the energy aspect's not necessary, but it's... Ugh. Okay, that was interesting. He plays the Giratina. He actually sets up the Cramorant. He can escape rope. This is not a good situation. While I do not want to sack the Bidoof, it's gonna have to go ultimately. We don't need to really stress about a retreat at this moment. I think what we're just going to do is... We're going to evolve. We're going to evolve. We're going to DINC. And we're going to Yono. Get our hand back. Now, I don't know where I want to put the... I want to put the basic fighting energy on the Glimmora. That's a given. The question is, where do I want to put Emergency Joey? I think Glimmora is going to be taking the bulk of the hits, and I got a few amounts of Emergency Jelly. The question is, do I want to sack the Deontay? And I'm almost thinking, yeah. But I'm also thinking, nah. I'm going to keep it on bench. I mean, if he bosses orders, he's bringing up the Deontay anyways, in my opinion. I don't know if the Deontay is really necessary at this point in the game. Yeah, I mean, there's an escape rope. I'll throw up the Deontay. Actually, I should have thrown out the Glimmora. I mean, if he escape ropes again, that would have forced the pressure, because then he would either have to get rid of his Cramorant, which is his primary attacker, or his second Comfey. Yeah. It looks like he was happy with what he had, but I don't know, we're in not the most super position as it is. We could limit, but the question is, what do I want to bring up? I'd rather save the boss's orders for now. So we're going to force something out. He's probably going to take out a Comfey if I was to make a presumption. Oh, he takes out the Sableye. That's an interesting play. We don't really have anything to Super Rod, a Bidoof, and a Deontay. So, ultimately, deck's not doing great. I've had good occurrences with this deck. I don't know what's up. Escape rope, unfortunate. He has... Oh, shoot, you should let me check. We're going to throw Glimmet up. I think he has 7. He's got 5. But he's got to be able to get that 7 fairly easy. Because he's going to want to use Star Requiem. Well, not even Star Requiem. The 280. Yeah, this is not a good position we're in. Yono works on my end. I'll take that. Battle VIP pass is a bit too late. Sends up to Cram. Now, he doesn't have bench ping. So, ultimately, we're going to be able to trash the Manaphy. B-Barrel's a bit rough. But we need to be careful. And so I want to start setting up the Toedscruel. Now, Toedscruel's not in there, but I'm about to get a kill. We're getting Yono. Okay. Rocky Helmet's a little rough. I don't want to give him Artizone, but I think it's necessary at this point in the game to set up a bit faster. That's a weird texture on the Bidoof. Look, Limit. We could potentially stall a little. Trash these two. and yeah, it's overall a rough position. We're kind of in a tricky pickle that I don't think we're gonna be able to come back from. We're just gonna set up a Bidoof, and we're gonna Poisonous Gem. If there was something to energy ramp a bit with these, I'd be happy, but I don't think there is. Nest Ball is unfortunate, because Artizone is like a weaker Nest Ball. So he paths to the peak, which gets rid of Glimmora EX's ability, which is unfortunate. And he's going to have 7 in Lost Box right now. So he's going to be able to use the Mirage Gate right on cue. Get a Grass, get a Psychic. And he's going to be able to do 280 to Glimmora EX. The game... Okay, he's getting a little greedy with it, but the game's done. And while decks like these can be super fun and unique, if you want to win games, you're free to play whatever you want. However, you need to be fast and consistent. We're going to play Superior V. We're just going to hit the Yono. Yeah, I guess I'm a bonus on prize, but what am I to do? We'll tap an Emergency Jelly on there. And the problem with... Well, Industrious Incisors. Well, Artizone, again, at this point, it doesn't matter as much. I almost want to switch just to do the switch out, but... We're just going to get a kill with Glimmora. Avery. He's got to cram out. Unfortunate. Jet Energy switching to Comfey. He's not even turboing that much, all things considered. He's got the Sableye set up. He's going for the kill of Giratina. Keep it consistent, keep it simple. He's got to banish those two, but all that means is he needs to get another... Whatever. I mean, he has the requisites for Star Requiem at this point, so... The game is done. The game is done. We're just getting Nest Ball. Sure, put up Toad's cool. I really don't care at this point. We got Avery. We'll Ultra Ball. B-Barrel. Pick up Glimmora. Evolve it. Super Rod. Put the free energy back in just for a higher consistency of pulling it. The fact that I haven't pulled any grass energy is a bit ridiculous. Industrious Incisors. Yeah, see, that's ridiculous. I haven't pulled any grass. We'll just evolve to Superior V-Star just to flex. But ultimately, game is over. And it sucks. Yeah, he's got 2 Sableye on the bench. He has the 11 cards in Lost Box in order to supplement the Sableye. I'm just going to concede. I mean, it's not like I didn't try. I did go as far as I think I could. The problem is I just don't think I could have gone any further. Lost Box is super consistent and it's always a major threat. The problem then becomes, how do you counter it? Because ultra-specific counters tend to not work that well. I would like to do one more deck that is a stupid gimmick of mine, just to finish off the day. Yeah, we're gonna hit it with a classic. No, wait, I need the EX. Shoot. I was gonna play a mill deck just to finish it off, but I need to play the EX. This was a switch deck. Sleep Hazard. Any EXs in here? No. Yeah, screw it. Let's play Vespiquen. The only thing I want to change out in this instance is to make the energy draw more consistent. And so we need the chair more to ramp up grass energy on Sprigatito and Combee. But we're going to replace some stuff for some... Well, I have the gold level balls, so we're going to replace them for gold level balls first and foremost. I don't know if I have the gold ultra balls set up. I do. We're going to want a few earthen vessels. At least 3. We're going to pull out an Iono. We could pull out a Judge. And I want to say we can pull out a Boss's Orders. Yeah. Now, a quick showcase of what the deck is supposed to do. And I'll probably bring this back in a different episode because I do really love this deck. Vespiquen EX will do 200 damage. Plus an additional 3 damage on each of my opponent's Pokemon that have any benched Pokemon that have any damage counters on it. So we will use the Radiant Alakazam to spread damage counters to bring up that bench ping, but we'll also use Meowscarada EX to put 3 damage counters on a benched Pokemon that our opponent has. It also works well with Meowscarada EX as a primary attacker, as if the opponent has any damage counters already, then I do an additional 120. So if I use the ability to put 30 damage on a bench Pokemon, use the Alakazam to move up at least 10, I'm now hitting for 230. So ultimately, I think the deck is solid, and I did have some slight issues with consistency in this deck, but I'm a fan of Meowscarada, I'm a fan of Vespiquen, Bug Gang. If you have any comments for what this deck should be called, or how would you adjust it, please feel free to know. I'm definitely going to say I am not the best when it comes to TCG Live. I just know a bit or two when it comes to card mechanics. And so ultimately, I'd love to learn, I'd love to get better. But that's going to require input on the side of viewers like you. Thank you. We are waiting for a coin flip. Okay, they finally chose. Let's take a look at what's going on. I would love to go first. Going first is going to be, again, the game plan 99% of the time, because you want to have that ability to evolve, and you get that extra energy ramp. Overall, extremely good. Now, the setup we have, not as good. The level ball's nice. We're playing against a dark deck, which ultimately means that our Vespiquen's going to be a little weak. He should be able to get the attack off on Roaring Moon instantly. So what I'm going to do is play it a bit risky and start setting up the Sprigatito. Now, I do want to set up the Combi in order to evolve to Vespiquen next turn. But ultimately, Meowscarada EX is going to be our game plan for the Roaring Moon. We're going to need a very specific combo in order to successfully pull it off. Because he's 210, Meowscarada is only going to be able to hit for 200 with super effective damage. So we're going to need to be able to ping it, then spread with the Alakazam Radiant. The issue with that then becomes getting the Alakazam Radiant, because the only consistent way I have is Ultra Ball. Now, they don't play special energies, which kind of works out nicely. You might see Jet Energy, and that's just because it's really good with the ability to switch. So, I don't think Giacomo is really necessary. Okay, that's an unfortunate escape rope. And I really don't know where I want to go from there. If I had to sack anything, I could sack Combi. But he wants the Roaring Moon EX on the bench. Oh, shoot. Oh, shoot. Okay. We're going to spit on Supergadio. We don't need a Roaring Vessel. That's actually just a waste. We're going to bank on getting a switch. We're going to research. Ultimately, solid hand. We're going to Cherubi. I want a second Supergadio, but I don't have the option to, really. Because what we need to pull... We're gonna need every single thing we have here. We're gonna pull up the Meowscarada EX, Rare Candy, and we can actually get the ping damage off early. Now, I don't believe I saw the Radiant Alakazam, which is unfortunate. But sometimes that's the way the cookie crumbles. Now, the Charm, I could have trashed the Charm if I'm being honest. Because it's a little too late for what I have out now. Charm will only ramp grass energies to Pokemon that are non-rule box. So the Vespiquen EX is not going to get a successful situation with this. So all I'm going to do is just kind of set up. It's quite possible to draw another grass energy next turn. I don't think we need to ping... So we're just going to set up on Vespiquen. She could technically heal 60 on herself. Which might be good next turn if he Wind of Darknesses. We're in an interesting spot. I almost didn't want to Combi evolve last turn. Okay, so he didn't have enough energy to attack. Super Energy Rod, we'll bounce all free. Might not be the most effective. And we're just going to Healing Pheromone just to do it. The Psychic type portion does make this a little... Okay, so he puts down a Path to the Peak, which is not great. I don't remember what I have for my stadium counters. I think it's Artazone. We pull a Level Ball, which I'm thinking we're going to go with Bidoof on this situation. If we can get a B-Barrel, that's really good. If we can get 2 B-Barrels, that's extremely good. Unfortunately, the damage is just at the right spot to where we are not going to be able to tank the hit. I'm curious on what his plans are. He only needs a singular draw in order to just kind of set up. But I presume he's going to go for the kill. He's going to be able to hit for 260. So we are done zone. That's 2 prize cards to him. So ultimately, Vespiquen EX was not the right play. We're gonna move up Meowscarada EX. But we kind of just have to see what's going on. Take your prize cards. So we're getting hit for a good amount. A Meowscarada EX is not what I needed. The bonus 10 damage being missed is really bad. And now we're going to be put to sleep, which is not good. Really not good. Okay, he gets the Ancient Booster Energy Capsule, which hurts us in the aspect of Roaring Moon now does not kill itself when it uses the insta-kill. He starts ramping up some energy on Roaring Moon. And he Dark Voids. Do we break to sleep? We don't. See, coin flips, I hate coin flips. I'm atrocious with coin flips. We're going to move up to Gardevoir, or not Gardevoir, to Moltres, because that's the best I can do. See, second Tails in a row. That's a 25% chance of occurring. He has a Switch Cart. This sucks. Ultimately, there's nothing I can do about it. He pulls Nest Ball. I was just about to say, I'm thinking he's got to pick up another Roaring Moon EX. Dark Void. If it's 3 in a row, that's atrocious. Okay, we got our heads. Let's see what we can draw. Hopefully it's a B-Barrel or a Research. Something to allow us to... No, it's neither of those. That's not good. This is really not good. Now, his board state's not the strongest. So we might have a chance. This pool is not good either. 4 cards in hand. Let's see what we can do. Runs another basic energy to put some more setup on the Roaring Moon. Professor Zada's Vitality. Okay. Meowscarada is Dunzo. That's essentially what's going to happen. And he's got 2. I can't really set up in that time. I'd have to get super lucky with the Charm. Ultimately, I think the game's over at this point. Earthen Vessel. The Vitality is what ruined the odds of us getting it. Yeah. He's not even gonna do the insta-kill. He's gonna do his whatever. Calamity Storm. He doesn't even need to get the ramped for Stadium Destruction. It's bad. This is... I don't know why my games have been so off tonight. I'm trying to get a win. Trying to get something. It's not like I see an instant matchup and say, oh, okay, game's done. I try to do or get as far as I can. But there's times in which you can just see that the game is done. And I think this is an instance where it's happening. Deono helps out a little, I guess. Super Rod, I think we're past the point of Vespiquen EX. It's a major liability. We're just getting Meowscarada and Grass Energy. Now, we don't have the Sprigatito, which is unfortunate. We're going to have to sack the Bidoof. Ultimately, Deono is a bit helpful in this situation. We're going to Sprigatito. Ramp both Grass onto Sprigatito. And we're just going to end turn. Worst thing you're going to have is Boss's Orders. Well, actually, it would be a B-Barrel that allows him to draw into Boss's Orders. Because that would give him a card advantage of +1, ultimately. Yeah, the Ultra Ball is that situation. Now he's in a really good state. Because he's, instead of drawing 3 cards off that, he's drawing 5. So his odds of pulling a boss's orders is immense now. If we have to sack due to escape rope, it's gonna be Cherrim. Because I need the B barrel for draw. Okay, he goes with Sada's Vitality, which is an interesting play. The game's done. The game is done. I kill his Roaring Moon. He gets me with his own effect. I would have to ping enough damage on him to force a tie. I don't think that's happening. I'd need a super specific combo. Selecting prize cards. Let's see what he can get. Let's see what I can get. Meowscarada is the play right here. Oh, shoot. We're going to B-Barrel now. Since it's a consistent 4. We need cards in hand because we're dead regardless. Well, that's game. It's unfortunate. We played the best we could. I have 4 rare candies. That means I had 1 remaining. We'll hit for 20, then we're just going to concede. I don't know what's up. I want to try and get a win. I really do. I don't know what I could switch out of this. I mean, I got the Gita for that bit of extra ramp if needed. I think the Alakazam was a prize card, so I couldn't be helped there. The only other thing I would consider would be a couple of those Pokegear 3.0, but even then, I think that's... the deck is a bit too tight. The only thing maybe would be some level balls and some Ultra Balls out. But I'm not even sure on that aspect. Because the level ball is going to be able to hit not only my basics, but the Cherrim, which is kind of crucial. Yeah. So, game's going on for a bit longer than I wanted to, but I want to try and win. I want to try and have a really good game. We're going to do one more. Doesn't work out, doesn't work out. I think we just had a really unfortunate matchup, and I made a really poor decision. Really bad decision with evolving to Vespiquen EX. The B-Barrel on opener is unfortunate. It really is. We have some plays we can make. I don't know what I want to set up. We're playing against fire. It looks like there's the Radiant Zard. Fuecoco. I think he's probably going to be going into Fuecoco EX with normal Fuecoco, which is steel. Would be weak to fire. Resistant to grass. Charmander. He's probably going into Charizard EX to Dark Terra. So we might have some potential with that. Ultimately, not a great situation we're in. Shoot. Okay, we're going to level ball. We're going to go Sprigatito. We're going to energy. And we're going to research. We'll Cherrim. We'll just go end turn. Next turn, we can get the Meowscarada. And we have a really good setup for this situation. But man, does it hurt. Okay, he runs Clavo, and Clavo is interesting. He can pick up 3 basic Pokemon with 120 HP or less. Now, he adds them to the hand, which is nice. But it's an interesting comparison to Gloria. Gloria allows you to put 3 basic Pokemon onto the bench without a rule box. So the primary difference in phrasing is such that you could technically hit Radiance. Because I don't think there's any rule box Pokemon with less than 120 HP that would be basic. besides a couple of Radiants. Not even all Radiants. As you can see here, Radiant Zard is a good, healthy energy. Oh, my goodness. We are going to trash a grass in order to pick up 2 more grass. And we're going to trash 2 more grass in order to pick up the Meowscarada. We're going to rare candy. We're going to grass energy. I don't want to boss's orders just yet, but we are going to want bouquet magic. And we're going to want to hit the Charmeleon. That way we can actually get the kill on the Zard when it pops up. Now the deck's playing slow, which is interesting. So it almost looks like it's a demo deck of Charizard EX that he kind of threw into a Skeledirge EX combo, maybe? Yeah, that's what I was waiting for. Now, if we can get a Grass Energy or a Switch, we could technically take out the Zard next turn. We're susceptible ourselves with the Meowscarada, but we're not in a terrible place ultimately. I think we had the potential to win. Now, the Iono is both good and bad. Good because it's a refreshed hand. Bad because I did really want that boss's orders. He's not going to be able to kill. He can't retreat unless he has a switch. He rare candies. He goes to Skeledirge GX to fire type. So it is a pure fire combo. Well, he might have that or variation, but I forgot. I didn't see what he picked up. He goes B-Barrel. Excellent play on his part. Ultimately, we're struggling a bit. He escape ropes. Not what I wanted, ultimately. If I have to trash something, it's gonna be the Cherubi. I have a second Cherubi I can bench. He's gonna pick up another B-Barrel, I think. Yeah. So now he's gonna be able to draw 4. Really good play on his end. I have a B-Barrel in hand. I got Cherubi on the bench. I might just trash this Vespiquen and the Gita. Put something on the bench. I'm not sure what exactly just yet. 4 energy. Move this up. Cherubi, B-Barrel, Ultra Ball, Gita, Vespiquen. We're going to want... I want to say Combi. I really want to say Combi. I'm going to say Combi. We're going to need it to counter out the fire. We're going to put a Grass Energy on Combi. We're going to Bouquet Magic to take 30 ping on that Skeledirge. It's going to knock the damage down. It's not enough to make us survive. We'd have to knock it down to 150, ultimately. We'll see what we can do. Level Ball's okay. We'll pull a Chairman in hand. Oh, shoot, that's right. I pulled it this turn. We'll pull a Bidoof in the hand. We're going to Super Rod our Grass Energies right back in. And we'll play the Bidoof. We'll Iono. Only thing I want left is going to be that Radiant Alakazam. Because I can move 2 damage. There it is. There it is. That's what I wanted. Yeah, we're going to set up Gape Jaw Bog to start doing some pings. Ultimately, the hand's alright at this moment. But since I can hit for 440 as long as it has 1 damage counter, we're going to move 2 extra damage counters from the Zard onto the Skeledirge EX just to reduce that damage potential. We're going to get the prize card we want. Or prize cards we need is the better way to put it. Now we got Cone Beam and we got Judge. Judge is interesting at this point. Because if he doesn't get the kill Judge is not terrible if it would reduce his hand size. Okay, he changes Gapejaw for a Magma Basin, which actually is unfortunate. I believe the concept with the Skeletor GX... This is Skeletor GX from Scarlet Violet base set, by the way. This specific one, the gold variation, is from Paldea Evolved, actually. That's my apologies. The starter EXs did come from Paldea Evolved. I was thinking of the normal Skeledirge. But I believe the concept with this Skeledirge, as well as the Skeledirge from Scarlet Violet base, is you want to play with the Oricorio that allows you to heal 20 each turn. Because it's good damage for, honestly, cheap energy. Oh, shoot, we're dead. We are dead. It's good damage for cheap energy, but you lose 10 for each 10 you have. So right now it's hitting 200. And that's not a great position for the Skeledirge. What we need to do... Yeah, that was anticipated. We're going to move Combi up. Now, this is a super big risk because it might get us killed instantly. But we're just going to see what's going on. We're going to put a Grass Energy onto the Combi. We are going to Giacomo, Combi, pick up a B-Barrel. What we need is 2 criteria. We need a Cherrim. We need a Grass Energy. So what we're going to do is we're going to B-Barrel right now. Pick up a Grass Energy. But it doesn't work out because we need the Cherrim as our priority. So we're going to Yono. Shut him down a bit. Now this works out well enough. Ultimately, because we'll Cherrim. We'll take out 2 Grass Energy. We'll toss it on the Combi. And we'll just throw it on the Cherrim. For whatever. It's my last ditch effort. And now we're going to need a B-Barrel. So this is unfortunate. This really is unfortunate. We're going to Gapejaw to switch that out. And I don't know what to sack. If it comes down to anything, we don't need Cherrim anymore. I'd rather have the draw. We're going to take 10, throw it on Charmander. I want to reduce the amount of damage that's on Skeledirge by as minimum as possible, but we do want to start spreading out for the Vespiquen. So he's going to be able to retreat this turn. He's going to get some good... He's going to get the kill off of Cherrim. The question is, does he boss his orders? I don't think he has it. I know the Vespiquen's in the deck because I just had it in my hand. We're going to draw 5 on next turn. Iono and then B-Barrel and see what I can get. Never play Coco. I think the game is kind of donezo and we just had a tough matchup. I don't think Psychic's terrible, but ultimately it's not good. And that's because Psychic counters fighting, and what does fighting counter? Or fighting's not in major processes right now. And half of fighting types are weak to grass. I'll move up to B-Barrel. Because I don't know what else I'm going to do, in all honesty. I'm in a stuck position as it is. I can take the B-Barrel loss. I want to keep the Alakazam open. Now, he's going to attack. Burning Voice, 210. So, again, it's unfortunate. That's just how it's going to go. We're going to put Combi up. We need hit 2 situations now. Oh, I don't want a Yono. I don't. I want the boss's orders. But we need the grass energy. We need to get to Vespiquen. Here we actually hit it. Grass energy, Vespiquen. I don't know what I want to pull from the bench. It's a little bit too late. I mean, I think we got rare candies, so I'll just pick up a Meowscarada, Sprigatito, Grass Energy combo. Decking outs are least of our problems at this moment. Absolute. I'm going to spread a damage from Fuecoco to Zard just to get it set up for damage. And we're just get Phantom Queen. Let's get reduce the amount of damage I take into, I want to say 210. We gotta take 10 damage, but he can retreat easily into Zard and get pretty close to a KO. Iono's unfortunate. I can work with it, but again, it's unfortunate. There's the Sprigatito. Would have loved that a bit earlier. And ultimately, the boss's orders is good in this situation by mana. Why are you putting experience share on him? It's a bit too late. You don't need that. Boss's orders, because next turn we can boss's orders and we can get a double kill by hitting the Zard and the Skeledirge with the ping damage overall. Actually, no, I couldn't kill with the ping. I'm curious on what he's trying to do. Because he placed the energy. Oh. Okay, so he goes to Vitality Song to do the 50, which is the smart move, and heal 30 from everything overall. Ultimately, it makes sense. I don't want that Zard. That Zard scares me immensely. So, we're going to take care of that Zard. We're going to play Sprigatito, because there's the possibility of us pulling it back. I mean, I'm not saying it's denied at this point, but there's been crazier situations. I don't really want to judge because I don't want to give him 4. I want to boss's orders up to Zard. 8, 5. We'll play it thin and loose. We're gonna need to Charm, Grass Energy. If we want to attack with Meowscarada, we need it. We're gonna spread 10. I do 30. We're gonna spread 2 onto the Charmander because we're gonna get 2 prize cards into KO. So yeah, there's the Zard out, and that's gonna be the Charmander out, and everything's in a super weakened state to where we are kind of a threat actually. So Sprigatito and the Grass Energy. The Grass Energy works well because we can get the ping out. The question then becomes, what's going to go on? I presume he would move up the Skeledirge. Now, yeah, 240. He can hit 30. He's going to hit with the 50 and heal 30 damage from everything, which sucks on my end, but I mean, there's nothing much I can do to counter that. The worst situation would be a boss's orders, but he wouldn't be able to get the victory with that. He would need to hit a super specific set of criteria, and it's possible, but I don't think it's likely. He would need to get a rare candy, a Skeledirge EX, a Fire Energy in hand, and a switch. Yeah. He'd need to switch out the Fuecoco into the advanced slot after he gets a Magma Basin and attaches a Fire Energy. Then he would need to... Yeah, I think the game's a little bit over on his end. I don't think he's able to pull it back. He might be trying to go for stall tactics. Honestly, that's where I would go at this point. I have some methods to counteract the stall. But ultimately, I don't think he has the energy. And while it might be a misplay in some eyes, we're going to B-barrel up. And I have to ask myself the question of if I have the energy. And I don't know. I simply don't know. We're going to get painful spoons because the Fuecoco's past the point of needing the bother of it. Ultimately, the end game's gonna be the Skeledirge. And we're just gonna Radiant Alakazam. And we're gonna hold our cards. We can judge on our final turn if we need to. I don't think he's got support or destruction. He needs to get 2 Fire Energy out. Ultimately... Okay, Arvins. I think he's gonna go for the switch. No, he goes for Rare Candy. But even still, the Fuecoco's past the point of saving the game. Earthen Vessel. We're just gonna... No, I really don't want to waste the cards. Because if it comes down to it, it's gonna be whoever has the most cards in their deck. Whereas first on the draw, I technically have that disadvantage. This is tense. Okay, he goes for the Yono. Honestly, the right play on his end. This is going to allow me to draw my final 3 cards. Rare Candy, Meowscarada. So, the last card has to be an energy or a means of recycling energy. And if it's not, then we just have to hold. Industrious Incisors was the wrong move. He's got to be trying to end the game as soon as possible because it's not going to work. It's a grass energy. We're going to say GG's. We're going to put it on to Kazam. We're going to retreat. Go into Vespiquen. And we're just going to hit with Phantom Queen. We don't need to get too flexy with it. We have one more turn to flex once we can actually confirm it. Pick up a prize card. We're going to go with lucky number 6. Rare Candy. So, not that lucky, ultimately. He's going to be able to hit for 20 or for 50. He'll be able to hail 30, but we have to kill. Boss's Orders. He brings the Alakazam back, so I'm glad I didn't do what I did. But we still have game. He's not going to be able to heal enough damage in the time he can kill the Alakazam. So we're just going to end turn. And that's it. That's game. Unless he has something like a Judge or Yono to recycle again. Or a Palpad. It's game. And if he chooses to kill the Radiant Alakazam, we have a double victory condition. Because I will kill his Skeledirge EX next turn with the Vespiquen. So ultimately, this deck, Vespiquen Meowscarada EX, is fun. And it's got some potential, but it definitely needs some work in order to maximize that potential. It's a little slow and sometimes going to be super inconsistent. And I think a big problem is that Grass doesn't have a crazy good engine. The only consideration I could think of would be Fortress EX. And then you're giving your opponent 2 prize cards. Ultimately, that was a good game. It's been a while, but we got our dailies done. So I thank everyone who decided to join in and watch for watching. It's appreciated to know that I'm making these not for nobody, that there is someone out there. So thank you. If you have any suggestions for games you want to see be played, I'm a huge fan of TCGs. It could have a client or it could not have a client. Shadowverse, Magic the Gathering Arena. Maybe you want to see some Magic the Gathering Commander. Yu-Gi-Oh! Master Duel, Digimon TCG, Dragon Ball Super, Lorcana. Throw any suggestions you have below. I'll try to get that set up. If you have any suggestions for any decks you want to see, I'd be more than happy to do my best to build those and play it. And let me know when you want to see me collect the rewards. I was thinking of doing tier 25. If tier 10 is where we want to see some card pack openings, then I'm cool with that. Let me know below in the comments. And as always, thank you for watching.